The Progressive Impact Organization for Community Development, PRIMORG, was founded to galvanize citizens to participate in the promotion of good governance in Nigeria, essentially to make them capable, provide them with the skills and the voice to hold those in government accountable. We believe strongly in the transformative powers of the citizens and their engagement with their leaders, with those who have been elected, and to create a situation where there's a complete inclusiveness in the governance process. This project was initiated to address the ravaging menace of corruption in Nigeria, which everyone agrees is the bane of development in Nigeria. Our work was made easier by the collaborative efforts of so many media organizations, CSOs, and other individuals, including those who joined in the anti-corruption war by being honest, those whose integrity we also harvested in the course of these programs to brighten up the light, to light up the darkness that had corruption, enveloped so many places. So we have beautiful characters and individuals who had beautiful stories of integrity, which we also told in these last 3 years. So they helped us to amplify over 120 reports, that is the media houses, the radio stations, individuals at town hall meetings, at radio town hall meetings. We had opportunity to amplify these corruption reports to draw government and the citizens' attention to them for their own democratic actions. Some of the main activities centered on media engagement. We have Public Conscience on Radio, our weekly anti-corruption programs, where we ran both live and syndicated episodes around Nigeria to get the people to understand what corruption is all about and how they can participate by lowering its scourge. We also had town hall meetings. We had radio town hall meetings. These were also unique and novel in their own, initiative to be sure that whatever thing that is being done at the radio station, those who are listening outside are also participating in it, and they come up at the end of the day to get a resolution that would send a message to the government depending on the topic that we choose to amplify. We have Voice Pop. This Voice Pop is our street harvest of individuals, citizens on the street randomly to tell us what they think about corruption topics. And they enriched our harvest of the voices, the contribution, the kind of opinions that we are able to bring together to let the government know what the ordinary citizens think on the street. And this addition of the voices of citizens to this enriched the entire package that we have, that everyone is involved in the fight against corruption.
Here are some of our impactful work between 2021 and 2024. PRIMORG amplified an investigative report by the International Center for Investigative Reporting, ICIR, on how some members of the National Youth Service Corps falsify medical documents to bypass protocols. The corruption report was shared with the NYSC along an invitation letter to discuss indictments on the radio. A few months later, NYSC introduced a new medical fitness policy for Corps members, which has helped in curbing the falsification of medical documents by Corps members. The National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, prohibited giving and receiving cash of any form at 8 centers following amplification of an investigative report by the news guru titled NIMC Staff Colluding with Immigration Officials to Extort Passport Applicants. We got a quick intervention from Abuja Electricity Distribution Company after amplifying reports by the ICIR and Daily Trust on discos ripping off electricity consumers in Nigeria through estimated billing. Affected electricity consumers residing in Karo Extension 2 by City College, Nasarawa, had their issues resolved. The program provided a platform for citizens to be educated on the processes of getting electricity meters. PRIMORG amplified a report by the cable titled "Nigerian Workers Inhumanly Treated at Ogun Chinese-Run Quarries." The National Human Rights Commission pledged to conduct an independent investigation on the 2 Chinese companies indicted during one of our radio programs. Later on, reports indicate an improvement in the way Nigerians are treated in the aftermath of the amplification. Likewise, after amplifying a 2-part investigative report still by the cable, exposing the poor working condition of factory workers in Lagos State and how these companies fail to provide protective and safety measures for their workers, we got assurances from the Lagos State government that any of the factories found culpable at the end of their investigation would face the full wrath of the law. PRIMORG advocated vigorously for a change in passport processing following a corruption investigative report by the News Guru, exposing the reign of extortion by officials. In response, the Nigeria Immigration Service ordered an investigation into the conduct of personnel. Subsequently, the Minister, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, directed the clearing of 200,000 passport backlogs and announced that the new passport application should be processed in 2 weeks, thereby reducing the encumbrances and corruption rocking the system. A report by Human Angle indicted the Nigerian Army, Nigeria Police Force, and others of extorting travelers on the Borno Highway. After contacting the indicted security agencies to explain their involvement, the Inspector General of Police approved the deployment of a monitoring unit and ex-squad operative to ensure checkpoints are managed. The Nigerian Army reportedly put mechanisms in place to curb the extortion of road users. This project also promoted and amplified integrity acts by public and private individuals. Acts of integrity by several public servants were amplified. An honest taxi driver who returned over $4,000 forgotten in his vehicle was gifted with a piece of land in Abuja by a listener for his integrity deed. PRIMORG also joined in telling the story of Ms. Ngozi Kekwaru, a staff of Eco Hotels and Suites, Lagos, who found and returned $70,000 to a guest at the hotel. These stories re-establish the fact that there are a lot of sincere Nigerians out there. Through our constituency projects tracking exercise and radio town hall meeting engagements, PRIMORG drew the government's attention to prevailing challenges of zonal intervention projects. Citizens were also informed of their roles in protecting and preserving constituency projects, as well as holding their representatives to account. Our advocacy was pivotal to the completion of a 1-kilometer road and drainage in Biajin, Buhari Area Council. PRIMORG had raised concerns after discovering that the road project stopped during the tracking of constituency projects. Our on-the-street citizens' engagement, tagged Voices Against Corruption, was another veritable means of educating and getting feedback from citizens on topical development and corruption issues. We are also vehemently opposed to unnecessary attacks on free speech, journalists, and shrinking civic space in Nigeria orchestrated by the state and non-state actors. We are anxious to see pervasive corruption in Nigeria dwindle incredibly. Elected officials deliver good governance, while citizens participate actively in the building of this great country. PRIMORG is greatly encouraged by the support from the MacArthur Foundation and the Foundation's grantees in the media and journalism cohort for their reports on accountability and transparency.